All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Complexity Casting action. I'm your casting host, Beef, bringing you the Winners Bracket Finals for HoN Tour Cycle 1 Diamond. It's going to be Stay Green taking on Trademark eSports. And guys, this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Trademark looking on fire. They defeated Complexity, taking them out of the HoN Tour qualifiers. In fourth place, tdM went on to win that tournament over Stay Green, formerly known as V0TE. And then, of course, Trademark looking dominant in the DreamHack Winter event, where they did, in fact, take first place, once again defeating Complexity, showing that perhaps they are the more dominant team right now. And looking good. Once again, in this event, Trademark did take the series 2-1 over Complexity to knock them into the loser's bracket. So looking extremely strong lately. But SG, Stay Green, they've been looking fantastic as well. V0TE did pick up Slicks. In fact, doing a little bit of roster changing. So Slicks being added after leaving TT eSports. Swindlemon's moving down into that support role. And Keizu continue to do on his, going to continue doing his carry thing. So no changes up there just yet. But guys, that is that. Enough about the preliminaries. We've got the action kicking off here. Best of 3 series. Let's get on into it. We go back up real quick. Blind Band's coming out. Wild Soul being banned by both teams. Plague Rider by the Stay Green guys. And Ophelia being banned by Trademark eSports. So Ophelia not going to be picked up by Z-Freak, and Plague Rider not going to be picked up by Zai or Insania. Both, of course, do play a fantastic Plague Rider in support and suicide roles. But neither are going to make it in, as that suicide support is in fact banned. The Plague not going to be present in this game. All right, getting on to the lock picks though. First lock coming out of Stay Green, Keeper of the Forest. So with that pick, Stay Green will be able, well, with that lock, they're going to be locking in one of the strongest suicides in the game. The ability of the Keeper of the Forest to continually stay in lane, stay relevant with his Nature's Veil, keeping him invis, giving him the regen, mitigating damage from coming in, and the ability of those Tree Dogs to not only pull the wave back so that he can get favorable lane position, but also when he needs to activate those and push down a tower very, very quickly. Tempest, much in the same vein, has the suicide potential, but he's a stronger jungler for sure, as Tempest, with his ability to replicate those minions and do a ton of damage, gets through that jungle extremely fast. Going to be able to get higher GPM than just about any other jungler at that point. And of course, a ganking, team fight ability, as well as pushing, is all there. Going further into it, tdM chooses to lock Wretched Hag, another hero with solo side lane potential, or suicide, whatever you do choose to run him as. Soul Reaper is locked in by Swindlemelons, actually. So of Stay Green, chooses to lock the Keeper of the Forest and then lock the Soul Reaper. So with that Soul Reaper, a lot of people have been picking him up to actually do a little bit of counter initiation. Well, not counter initiation, counter picking to Keeper of the Forest. The Death Pulse ability, as well as the Withering Presence from Soul Reaper, 2 very effective counters to that tree. We'll see if he does get chosen to pick that one in this game. Torture going to be the last lock pick out of Swindlemelons, as he does grab that one. A hero that has been around a little bit more recently, and a hero with a ton of anti-push. I think that's really the #1 reason that hero has been picked up recently, is for the anti-push potential. It does, of course, have a ton of damage coming out, as a great stun in form of that chain reaction, and just a huge amount of DPS in the middle of those team fights. The Impalement plus the Torment plus the Agonizing Bonds all pulling them in. Then you drop a stun on top of them. You're looking pretty damn good with that Torture. So we'll see if either team does pick that up. Last pick is going, or excuse me, last lock is going to be Zephyr for the tdM team. Actually, I believe that's tdM's last pick. Yeah, right? We're way the heck up here. Yes, tdM does have last lock. My brain, it's been a long day. My brain's kind of going all over the place, guys. But yeah, that's going to be the last one from tdM, as they have shown their prevalence for using that hero quite a bit recently, using it to great effect against Complexity in the HoN Tour qualifiers. And since then, Zephyr, the bird, has been making his way back into lineups everywhere. the bans now, we do have first ban Engineer, followed up very quickly by Parasite. Then a little bit more time, Dark Lady going to go down, Tremble, Silhouette, and Tundra to follow. So if we take a look there, Tremble, Silhouette, and Dark Lady being banned out as a couple of hard carries, of course. Tundra going to be banned out as the initiator type hero. Parasite, the ganker, the offensive ganker from the jungle, he's going to be banned. Minuts doesn't want to have to deal with that. And up at the top, Swindlemon says, it's Engineer, #1 support? Maybe, but we're going to ban him, so you guys can't have him, because Swindlemelons goes with first pick Luna. Of course, an extremely versatile pick, one that can be used in that support role or in that carry role. So being able to have that versatility and switch it up is essential in the lockpick. Luna, we have Master of Arms, and Hammerstorm. 3 heroes that really do have that versatile role where they can be played support, secondary support, semi-carry, carry. Whatever you need them to do, they can adapt based on the items that you give them. And so a great pick coming out of Swindlemelon, so he'll probably be playing that one. Demented Shaman and Bubbles are the second picks over here for Trademark eSports. Demented Shaman pairs very, very well with the Bird. Will he be picking that one up? We'll see what MyNuts does have in store. Noob G, well, he's on the Bubbles right now. I doubt that he's going to be playing that Bubbles as what? Okay. All right. Well, that's a Bubbles. And, excuse me, a Nomad. Nomad comes out as the third pick for Trademark as Draconis and Pebbles on the other side. Draconis, the hard carry potential over there. And Pebbles, the great initiator ganker. But Nomad, a hero that we do not see very often, a highly mobile hero, very elusive, hard to catch, a lot of burst damage, but no real true lockdown. It's no guaranteed stun, as of course with that counter attack ability, can get very, very strong here. Edge counter actually is what it's called. So we'll see if he lands some huge edge counters at any point in this game. Perhaps turn some fights around. Let's get into the lockpick real quickly, guys. We do have first pick coming out, Keeper of the Forest for SG. Z-Freak going to be playing that one. A great jungler, so he's going to be able to do that. Would not expect him to be going Suicide. On the other side, though, things that are being picked up, Tempest as well as Zephyr. Minot's going to play that Tempest, get his farm on, and Zephyr, the Bird, going to do work. Probably lane with Demented Shaman. Now looking at their lineup, yeah, it should be a Demented Shaman, Zephyr lane. Mid, Bubbles going to be, Demented Shaman, Zephyr will probably lane side lane, maybe in the top. And then on the other side, Bubbles will probably be going for that Suicide, and then Nomad solo middle. That's what I'm going to expect. Now, who has the wards? Both wards are on Insania, and he's going top, so he's going to not be able to get down here. Perhaps we'll see if he does make his way down to try to block that, or if he says, you know what, screw it. You guys can have that, and tries to secure the top lane just a little bit more. Lane wards here, rune wards here, something along those lines. We'll see what Demented Shaman does. He might place one ward here and then make his way down there, which I've seen in the past. Using one ward to scout already, the animated tree. Final pick on the other side, by the way, was in fact Torture. I believe that was the last one. Yes. So Torture is going to make his way into the SG lineup. SG Swindlemelon is going to be playing the Aluna. Slicks on that Pebbles. We have Keizu down in the bottom lane. He's going to be doing his Draconis thing. Z-Freak in the jungle, and it looks like it should be a mid lane Torture. So Skyzo cutting gold for that bottle already. He's only going to be about 350 gold off at this point. Able to get that up nice and early. That, of course, will be great for him. Demented Shaman, Zephyr. I'm playing that Twista Zephyr, so a new avatar with the Resurgence of the Bird. Seen this one a couple of times, but not too many. Looks like Zephyr will be teaming up with Demented Shaman up here in the top lane, of course. And Aluna Pebble is going to be going up against them. Let's take a look at this lane. Zephyr, he's got both an offensive and defensive spell in terms of that Gust. Anytime that you have something that can be used, both of those, you have to really consider the effects of that. Another paw is going to be coming out, but this is a replay, guys. So I really do need to explain probably a little bit what's going on. In this series, I was actually scheduled to cast another one, and it went long. And so when I got into this series, about 25, 28 minutes in, something like that. We had missed the first part of it, so I'm going back and casting the first part, and then we'll use the live VODs to make one full video that will be able to go up on YouTube. So if you're confused, that is what's going on. Actually, I need to change the overlay here, because right down in this location, you will see at some point it's going to say replay. If you ever got a question whether something is live or replay, well, it should come up, let you know. There's a big red live thing if it's live, and if not, there will be a big red replay thing. So we'll see. You'll see that in just a moment, I would expect. But yeah, skipping through those replays. Now, Zephyr in the top lane with Demented Shaman. I really think that Demented Shaman Zephyr has a little bit of an advantage in this lane. I think that they should have an advantage, at least, is what I'm going to say. Just because that Gust should be able to push them back before a full combo can come on to somebody, unless they're going to try to combo down Zephyr. But if they try to combo down Zephyr, then the healing wave's just going to come out. And if they try to make their way into a creep wave, when the healing wave comes out, they're going to take a huge amount of return damage. And then Zephyr's going to be full on life, or halfway full, or high enough that he's going to be able to fight. And he's going to be able to Gust you back into them, and they're going to auto-attack you down. So I would expect that Zephyr and Demented Shaman would do relatively well in this lane. A Luna Pebbles, and it's strong. They've got a lot of burst damage. If they're able to get onto the Demented Shaman and maybe even hit Slagmites on both of them, then that would be fantastic. But otherwise, it's going to have to get a long-range chuck, and not going to be the best of combos coming out from Pebbles. Bottom lane, Draconis going up against the Bubbles. Now, this is another lane where I think that the short lane should win. Draconis, of course, with his Dragonfire ability, and just by virtue of being in the short lane, should be a little bit safer. Aluna getting dove onto as the Entangling Root's going to come out now onto her, and the Emerald Lightning going to keep Zephyr off of her for the time being. The Chuck being applied onto Insania as Pebbles wants to get something happening, but he's going to have to back off. Not quite able to secure a kill, as both supports take a lot of damage, but neither falls. Middle lane, a lot of pressure being applied to Noob G. 21% of the hero damage in the game has been done by this Torture. Compare that to the 4%. That's the amount of harassment that has been going out in this lane. So a great job from Skyzo. If we take a look at that, again, 24% of the damage being done here by Draconis, as opposed to just the 11% of the Bubbles. So Draconis doing a very nice job of keeping that harassment up. If we take a look here at gold and, or excuse me, the creep kills and denies, Draconis is currently 11-4, as opposed to the 11-1 Bubbles. So Bubbles is actually holding his own in that lane, and I would expect Bubbles to be able to do pretty well. Not fantastic in there, but as the levels go up, I think Draconis is going to have a larger and larger advantage in that lane. The Gust comes in onto Aluna as the heal goes out as well, but it looks like Aluna is going to be able to escape once again. The Entangling Root being applied onto Slicks in the top lane, though. Skyzo is in some trouble as the body blocks are coming out from Tempest. A couple more auto attacks, and down he will go. Tempest makes sure to hold that auto attack just long enough so that he gets the last hit. My nuts, you're greedy. No, I'm just kidding. Great job from Tempest to get those body blocks out and to make sure not to auto attack during that time so that the hero might escape past him. With First Blood going to Trademark eSports, they're setting themselves up to be in a good position. Minot's up at 330 gold per minute. 26 creep kills. Of course, those are slightly different creep kills because some of them are only worth 15 or 20 gold, as these undead warriors are, and some of them are worth 100, like the Skeleton King. So it's a little bit different. Overall, it kind of balances out sometimes, but still a little bit different. You can't really gather a whole lot from that stat. Aluna putting on some pressure onto Demented Shaman. DS up one level. Interesting to see that both of these supports are getting good levels. A lot of times those supports will be out of the lane running runes, doing stacks, something like that, and as a result they can get relatively underleveled, but both looking pretty good, especially Demented Shaman looking great right now. As the Emerald Lightning comes in, the Avalanche and the Chuck to finish him off. Demented Shaman's going to fall. Pebbles is going to fall, though, as well. And possibly even one more. No, Limp not quite able to connect So the Stalagmite Chuck combination there from Pebbles, a fantastic job. He was able to get the kill onto that one. Draconis in the bottom lane activates that Blazing Flight and is going to start putting some auto attack harassment into Zai. Bubble's taking a lot of damage but has to back off. He's going to go ahead and use that bottle to regen a little bit and pray that the rune does spawn bottom. Unfortunately for him, it will be top. My Nuts will connect with that one and should be able to get the bottle up. Actually, that's unfortunate. My Nuts did pick it up on the Tempest. He should have been able to guard that and so that the Nomad could pick that one up, but unfortunately not quite able to. Not a big deal, though. Draconis in this bottom lane. He's doing his thing. Getting his farm on. Currently 250 gold per minute. If we take a look at the stats, he's up to 28 CS, so doing quite well down there. In the top lane, Slicks gets his bottle, gets his power supply. He's only at 187 gold per minute, though. Looking relatively weak as compared to the Zephyr, who's up at 300 gold per minute and up at level 5 now as opposed to level 4. Pebbles. A port going to be coming in now as Keeper of the Forest is going to hit the trees here, activate that Nature's Veil, and I would expect that he's going to go in to try to secure a gank, maybe drop the Zephyr, who's now level 6. Dropping that Zephyr for the first time would, of course, be a huge deal. The Zephyr actually turns it around, though, with the Gust and the Heal Bomb, and he's just able to kill him. The Typhoon did a great job. Torture comes in, activating that Agonizing Bonds, trying to land some stuff, but no! The turnaround, the Elemental Void is applied, and down goes 2 players. Huge plays from the Hellborn team. That was a total of 3 kills in that lane. They brought home Pebbles. They got Aluna and Keeper of the Forest without losing anyone. Torture was even there for the support, so that was a 3-on-4, and tdM still got the much better end of the deal. So fantastic job to them. Well played to MyNuts and his crew. Nomad might be in a little bit of trouble mid. No, he is level 7 and doing just fine against this Pebbles. He's even going to make his way up and bottle up this invisibility rune very soon here. If he does activate that, he might be able to try to make something happen onto Pebbles, but not going to just yet. Draconis continuing to put out the harass onto Bubbles here in the bottom lane. If we take a look at the damage chart once again, down to only 16% of the damage done in the game, but still putting out quite a bit of harass onto this Bubbles, who is still sitting without boots, whereas the boots as well as Life Tube and Ring of the Teacher have all been completed here on Draconis. Bubbles might be in a little bit of trouble. He uses the Shell Surf. The Stalagmites come in and the Chuck to finish him off. 6 grabs that kill. Zai using that Shell Surf to farm when you're not sure where everybody is. Not the best of ideas. Nomad's still holding on to that Invis rune in the middle lane. We'll see if he is actually going to pick up a Beast Heart. So he's going to be going for a Helm of the Black Legion to start this game off. Getting that additional tanky presence is, of course, very nice to have against heroes such as the Torture, such as the Pebbles that rely on their burst damage. Getting that extra 300, 400 life, very nice to get up to 1100, 1200 life, something around there. Keep you nice and big so that you don't have to worry about being bursted down nearly as easily. Both teams looking at trading some towers here. The bottom lane being pressured by the Legion. It's currently being repelled a little bit by the Bubbles and the Tempest, but top lane should by all rights be going down. The Glyph of Fortification is activated as a couple players are kind of in the vicinity. The Chain Reaction is going to come out as well as the TPs. That's a total of 4 players going to be there now. Z-Freak drops the root. The Typhoon is there. The Gust trying to turn it around perhaps. The Chain Reaction though, and Limp will take the fall. Skyzo gets the last hit on Torture. A great job there from SG to actually turn that one around. Nomad chugging his bottle so that he can't bottle up that double damage. He doesn't have enough money now to finish up that Helm of the Black Legion should he choose to do so immediately. Or perhaps he might be looking for something such as some earlier boots, finish those up instead. Yeah, it was a very nice job up there by SG. They gave up the tower, But securing a kill onto the Zephyr, not a bad way to trade it for sure. Pebbles keeping on trucking. He's only about 5 gold off of finishing his Steam Boots, if that's the route that he should choose to go. I wouldn't necessarily agree with him rushing to a portal key right now, especially only being level 7. He's banking on those boots for quite a while longer, but we'll see if he does choose to go for the boots or something else. Oh, the Black Legion has been finished up on Nomad, but he needs to be a little bit careful. If he pushes up a little too far, he could get caught out by the Aluna and the Torture. The combination of the chain reaction, agonizing bonds, as well as the power throw could very well render him dead, even though he's at 1100 life. You know what? Scratch that. No, he wouldn't die to that. He's very tanky. Nomad, of course, a very, very difficult hero to kill. His edge counter providing him an awesome escape mechanism in the form of an AoE stun whenever you attack him while that is active. So a nice thing to have, most certainly. Minuts, his Elemental Void is up once again on Tempest. So we'll see if he does choose to use that in another gank relatively soon. Luna in some trouble. The level 3 Entangling Root is going to come out. Shell Surf, Song of the Sea, and down goes Swindlemelons. He was trying to kill that Regeneration Rune. Unfortunately, didn't get the kill onto the Regeneration Rune, and he died anyway. Double damage is now activated by Nomad, critting for quite a bit. I think I saw a 270 crit there at the beginning. Of course, that Wanderer, that's what it's called. Wanderer, the passive that gives him the crit strike ability, does stack up after movement and depletes over time when he attacks those creeps. So the first crit is going to be the biggest. 273 followed by 218. And it gets a little bit smaller and smaller. Power throw going to come in possibly as Luna wants to make something happen. There is an invisible Keeper of the Forest very nearby should they choose to initiate. Pebbles has finished up the Steam Boots now, so choosing to go that route. And both players just kind of sitting around posturing for the time being. The animated trees have been summoned now, and they might look to try to push down this middle tower. Unbeknownst to the Legion team, Demented Shaman is here. He's going to be able to push this back. Tempest also, of course, is very close in the jungles. I think I just saw a portal key being picked up. Yes, a portal key has been picked up, as well as phase boots being completed by Nomad. So, nice job to him. Gets those completed, and he's going to be able to do significantly more damage. And, of course, the increased mobility that he's going to get from those items, very important as well. Luna using her power throw to get a little bit of stacking going on. Wasn't quite able to get that one as the power throw lingered for just a little bit too long. Zephyr finishes up his Helm of the Black Legion. So with 2 Helm of the Black Legions finished now on the Hellborn team, they're starting to look very, very tanky. And for a burst-oriented team, might not quite have the burst damage to take down 2 of them. Maybe 1. We'll see. Agonizing Bonds coming in onto Nomad there. Chain reaction does miss. Cleans up a couple of creeps, though. Bandit Shaman trying to get a little bit of counter warding done. There's no ward in this position, so he will use it to ward himself as a Luna drops down the Ward of Revelation immediately. But the portal key going to come in, the Glacial Blast, as well as the meteor being dropped. The level 3 Entangling Root as well. 1 more auto attack, and the dot damage will finish her off. The Ward of Sight immediately does get countered. So Swindlemelons thought he was in luck, managed to spot out a ward and counter it immediately. Instead, the portal key being revealed by Minuts. Draconis continues to farm here in the bottom lane. Steam Boots as well as the Sustainer finished up now. Gonna have the makings of a Nullstone. If that should be the route. I would highly doubt that he's going to be going for a Battle Fury or a Refresher Orb at this point in the game. Although stranger things have happened, Faye v. Runed Cleaver Valkyrie. Like, I don't know. It was Faye v, right? Not Scandal? I feel like it was Faye v. Maybe it was Scandal. Maybe it was some other Russian. But, of course, everybody does remember that Valkyrie picking up a Runed Cleaver. That was a long time ago. Like a really long time ago now. HoN's been out for a few years, now that I think about it. Yeah, HoNcast started, what, 3 years ago? There's a lot of history in this game, all the way back to the days of We Heart Pigs and Five and Loaded and Neva. All those guys way back when. That was about when I started. Maybe perhaps behind some, but still pretty far back there. Stalagmite's coming out of Pebbles as he tries to grab a kill onto the Demented Shaman, but Insania with the sidestep, more accurately, Slicks with the missed Stalagmites, and he will be able to back on out of there. Both teams' hard carries are just content to farm in their short lanes, pushing them up quite a distance, but getting their farm. They are 375 GPM is what Zephyr is currently at. 334 GPM here for the Draconis. Keizu a bit behind, but should be able to catch up after he starts to get into the jungle, kills some of these stacks. He should be able to catch up by all means. Blazing Flight activated. He'll turn it around with a Dragonfire. Not even needed, actually. Just going to start auto-attacking in. Double damage Nomad. Once again, he's got a Steam Staff. This is a really cool-looking model, by the way. He's got double damage on him. I want to zoom in on him a little bit when he does not have double damage. But going for Genjuro or Assassin Shroud, one of those should be going for an Assassin Shroud here on Nomad. Let's zoom in on him a little bit. Red Raja Nomad, I believe that's what this one's called. Really, really cool looking avatar, to be honest. He reminds me of Auron from Final Fantasy X. Reminds me quite a bit of him, even down to the red and the way that he carries his sword a little bit. Cool. Some of these avatars that S2 puts out, they are very, very awesome, guys. So, I'm happy to see those Slicks. I'm happy to see his portal key as well. The Emerald Red being used now by Luna. She's going to use... Oh, yeah. There goes the Tempest. Tries to get the Demented Shaman as well, but not even needed. The turnaround, though, the Kelp Field being applied as well as the Typhoon directly on top of Keeper of the Forest. The root comes out, but down goes... Pebbles? No, Pebbles is going to be able to portal key on out of there. In fact, Z-Freak on the Keeper of the Forest is the one that's going to be going down. I very much so did expect Pebbles to be going down as the gust comes in. The Chuck is applied as well, and Pebbles is going to try to get out of there. The TP was broken by the gust, and the Typhoon, the Tornadoes doing their work. A huge play there by Limp to actually continue chasing, get the stun off in the correct location, and then follow the juke so that he's able to get the proper route. Torturer trying to make something happen here with Nomad. The edge counter is used. Actually, in comes Tempest. Drops the Meteor to clear out a little bit of the trees. Some deforestation going on. But they will then turn their tower toward their attention toward the defensive tower. Take that one down. No problem. Easy peasy. Barrier Idol's finished up on Limp. Zephyr able to pick that one up as well. So he's getting tankier and tankier. Activating that in the middle of a team fight will, of course, save his team from a lot of damage coming out from the likes of the Root, as well as any kind of Pebbles combos. A lot of that will be absorbed by the Barrier Idol. Meteor being dropped as Minos does choose to blink on out of there. He has finished up his Ring of Sorcery as well as Portal Key, and now picking up a Mighty Blade. He's about 2,200 gold off of finishing that Shrunken Head. Shrunken Head, of course, will be a very crucial item to actually finishing up this... Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm actually doing this after casting everything else today, and I just took a little bit of a break, ate dinner, and all of a sudden I am tired. I cast for 8 hours today off of not enough sleep, so I'm trying to get the enthusiasm going into this so that I can upload these VODs to YouTube. I'm tired, to be honest. So I'm trying to bear with it, and I think there's only going to be a few more minutes left of this one before we do cut into the live cast that I did, which I assure you that has all the enthusiasm in it for sure. Bottom lane, Draconis in some trouble. The Elemental Void coming out. TPs 2, 3, 4, and 5 do come in. So all 5 players here for SG. Draconis going to be falling, perhaps. No, he's so low on life. Nomad going to be able to escape at 150 life. He's down to 60. Demented Shaman is going to fall. Keeper of the Forest wants to make something happen as well. But the Chuck comes into Tempest, and he will, in fact, fall. Bubbles trying to portal on out of there. Will he be able to get out, or will he perhaps get caught out? He is going to back off. So a very nice attempt to get the dragon, but instead they ended up paying for it with not only the cooldowns from Tempest, but also the death from Tempest and Demented Shaman. Might they make that 3? Bubbles comes back in, trying to get the kill onto someone before Zephyr drops, but Limp does die. The Barrier Idol not saving him. Down he goes, guys. Keeper of the Forest still doing his thing, making his way toward a portal key. I would expect that that is the item that he'll be going for, is of course the ability of that portal key. The purpose of the portal key is to actually get in there and interrupt that Tempest ultimate. The root effect, the mini stun, does go through shrunken heads, so a very, very useful thing to have. Blink in there, make sure not to get stuck in the Elemental Void. Some banter coming out between these players as Striders are they're the cheap man's alternative. Swindle, they're the cheap man's alternative. Draconis goes in and able to take out the tower in the middle lane. The bottom lane going to be defended as Pebbles comes in. He's going to drop Bubbles at that point, and he goes down very, very quickly. And they get the deny on the tower. So SG showing some signs of life. Down after a few team fights and a couple different times in this game. Not looking so hot, but now able to get a couple of kills. Able to get this tower. The gold lead is only 4,500 and the experience lead only 1,000 now for Trademark Esports. Is looks like SG stay green. Might want to stay in the green themselves. Picking up another tower perhaps might put them in the black. Not quite. Not quite at all. Tempest finishes up his Assassin's Shroud. And with that Shroud, of course, he will be able to get in and out of these team fights a little bit easier, even trying to pick off someone there at the end, but not quite able to. He will, in fact, just back off. Not trying to force any engagements just yet. Actually, they might. Hasted Pebbles, though, will activate that rune and get on out of there. We saw Bubbles using his portal key in some of these previous engagement. Portal key has been finished on him in addition to Tempest, so they got a little bit of initiation. But the initiation on Bubbles is sometimes referred to as a soft initiation rather than something like a hard initiate, like maybe a Behemoth or a Hammerstorm. Just get in there, drop your spell, and then try to get out. Bubbles doesn't have a hard lockdown on that Kelp field. He doesn't have a great lockdown in terms of that Song of the Sea. You can still move, of course, while you're silenced. But he's a great initiator if you've got nothing else. Tempest, on the other hand, if he's able to catch somebody and not counter-initiate, well, then he can be a great initiator once again, being able to finish up that shrunken head and able to enable him to channel those full ultimates. They're going to try to catch Keeper of the Forest out of position here, but Keeper already invis. The Meteor going to bring him down, though, and with the Word of Revelation in place, the Glacial Blast holding him down, and down he goes. Z-Freak takes his 3rd death of the game as Bubbles, Tempest, and Demented Shaman all gang up to try to take him down and succeed. Insania walks up to the top lane through the Nether. He's utilizing that Homecoming Stone. He's up there just to do a little bit of stacking, support his good buddy Limp on the Zephyr, who has picked up a Soul's Bulwark now. Very nice item to have. Luna sitting on Strider's power supply as well as a Grave Locket, and Pebbles picks up a Soul's Bulwark of his own. Shrunken Head is right-clicked to bind Draconis, and with that he will be able to stand strong in some of these team fights, just pounding out damage, no problemo. But for now he remains a little bit squishy until that gets delivered. Hopefully he does not get initiated on by Zephyr or anybody else up here at the top tower, although Shrunken Head now in his inventory. Tablet Command finished up onto Torture. Going to utilize that item to get in and out of battles and perhaps to interrupt Tempest Ultimates before that Shrunken Head is finished. And guys, you can actually see me connecting right there. So that means that this part of the video will be concluding in just one moment. Let me go ahead and reiterate once again that I got into this game a little bit late. I was in the middle of casting another series while this one was started. And now that I'm in the game, we'll get the other part started very soon here. And so, this is where I leave you. Have fun with the live cast, which is actually before the replay cast, which will be gone and going to you in the future. Have fun with it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you on the other side. Welcome to Trademark versus SG. Stay Green, formerly known as Vote. We go to this game, a match in progress, 28 minutes in. Unfortunately, QSQ did have to forfeit to Complexity. The match that we were planning to cast, the lower bracket finals, will now be a win for Complexity. So they will go on to face the losers of this game in the losers bracket finals number 2. Well, let's take a look at these teams. For Stay Green, we do have Swindlemounts playing the hard support Aluna. We have Slicks, Stay Green Slicks. He's on Pebbles right now with a Portal Key and a Soul's Bulwark, so not doing too bad. Here, level 15, 29 minutes into the game. Keeper of the Forest being played by Z-Freak, of course. He's got that Ring of Sorcery with the Portal Key doing his initiation thing. Skyzo on the Torturer. He does have a push stick as well as Steam Boots, Grave Locket, and Mystic Vestment, so working on some items there. And then Draconis, Keizu, the Farming Man himself, 469 gold per minute. He's sitting on Nullstone as well as a Shrunken Head. So he's looking pretty big on that dragon. On the other side of things, Trademark, we have Noob G playing Nomad. I was looking at that hero and going, what the hell is going on with this? But that's a Nomad. He's sitting on an Assassin's Shroud, a Helm of the Black Legion, and a Mighty Blade. So might be working on a Shrunken Head here. In the forest, we've got Limp playing the Zephyr. He's got Helm of the Black Legion as well as a Soul's Bulwark and a Barrier Idol, so doing the pushing thing. Level 18 as well. Important to note that. Demented Shaman being played by Insania, doing his ward thing. Has Steam Boots and Power Supply, so not bad. And also with Dust and Ward of Revelation, so the Invis from Keeper of the Forest being countered pretty effectively. Minuts. He's with a Portal Key, Shrunken Head, Steam Boots, Power Supply, and Ring of Sorcery looking strong. Everybody's rich in this game. Holy moly. Why is everyone so rich? Bubbles, being played by Zai, the Suicide player, is, in fact, with Steam Boots, Portal Key, and Grave Locket. I do need to go ahead and just update one thing real quick, guys. All right, so now my full attention is back with this cast, but it should be an awesome one. We do actually have Aluna using the illusion Swindlemounts, making sure to do a little bit of deflection. Gets the stack that might have been cleared up with that illusion, but no. There's nothing there. Tempest takes it out nice and easy. Guys, it has only been like 10 minutes since the Complexity and Lions epic game finish. I didn't even get to take a break. I didn't even get to go refill my water. I was busy in the middle of that getting prepared for this one. It's going to be a long day of casting, but it's an awesome day of casting. HoN Tour Diamond, sweet series, Complexity versus Lions. One of the best series I've seen in a very, very long time. Happy to cast that one for you guys. Zephyr here picks up the demonic breastplate and a shrunken head being finished up on Noob G. So we'll see if there's any initiation, as SG's only down by a few thousand gold in experience. They might be able to try to take a fight here. Will they go in? The Kongor is going to be going down very quickly, and it does drop. Bubbles makes his way in, uses that shell surf and the Song of the Sea, but nothing else is going to happen. So tdM extends their lead just a bit by bringing the Kongor down. He grabs the Token of Life, is going to be going to Nomad. But guys, I'm still super stoked. Like I was so pumped up at the end of that Complexity Lions game. Like I was screaming. I still haven't gotten a chance to go outside of my room to go talk to my roommate to be like, "Hey dude, sorry that I was screaming for 10 straight minutes." Like that's a thing. Like sometimes he plays music and you can hear it through the walls. You can even hear it on the stream every once in a while. But to have me screaming, like I'm a loud person. I'm hearing impaired, so I actually don't know when I'm being really loud sometimes. And I'm just a loud guy in general. You can hear it in my voice. It's just like a booming voice sometimes. And so I'm sure that all the neighbors were hearing that. But back to this game. 8-10 hero kill lead in favor of tdM. If we take a look at which heroes do actually have those kills, certainly not Noob G. He's been doing a majority of the farming for his team. 404 GPM. And the 441 GPM here on Zephyr as well. Down here, the demonic breastplate wielding Zephyr is actually going to get started on the combo. The Chuck as well as the Stalagmites come in. The Barrier Idol being activated, Bubbles in the thick of things. Now the Typhoon being activated, but the Shrunken Head is pumped by Draconis. Aluna going to take some damage, but Zephyr is going to be taking some as well. Keeper of the Forest in the thick of things. He might be dropping a root. He actually does have that root available. Will he actually use it, though? Zephyr is way back here, relatively low on life. Draconis is in some trouble. Why aren't you dropping the root? The Song of the Sea gonna actually prevent that one. Zephyr in some trouble. One more auto attack. The root comes down. He needs to auto attack down the Zephyr. Oh my god! Oh my god! The Zephyr is gonna get away, and so is Tempest, perhaps. Keeper of the Forest isn't able to finish that one off either. They don't get kills on either of those, and Z-Freak is going to go down as well. The Meteor going to clear out some of those trees as the dust does have another 5 seconds left on it. Down he goes. 4 members of Stay Green taking the fall in that engagement, and Trademark gets the better end of some poor decisions on the vote side, or Stay Green side. Oh man, guys. That was not necessarily the best of plays. Keizu tried to man up on that Zephyr, but Draconis with a Shrunken Head and a Nullstone. He picks up a Savage Mace now. It's not a whole lot of damage output. And even right now with the Savage Mace, 249 damage per attack, even with the 100 additional attack speed activated from the Cataclysmic Assault, it's still just not a ton of damage. And so Draconis not able to quite burst down that Zephyr, not able to really kill anybody in that team fight, as all members of tdM did live. Zephyr very, very low on HP. Actually, they did get the kill on Bubbles. So, excuse me. Noob G going to be working on some Ancients over here. They didn't stack, as he's now going to stack them. Not sure what he was doing, but he's only about 200 gold away from finishing up a Genjuro, which I assume will be an item that he will work on at some point in the near future. Minot's Portal Key's in to grab a Haste Rune on that Tempest, and he's going to get to work with that one. Going to clear up a lot of these stacked up neutrals, but back into a passive game we go. I thought we were going to have a lot of kills and stuff again, but we had a nice team fight. 4 for 1 in favor of Trademark eSports, but I want more action. I want more action. I was spoiled so badly by the end of that Complexity and Lions game. I can't stop talking about that. That game will seriously go down as one of the best finishes in a long time, I think. If HoNcast brings back their Game of the Year things, like their End of the Year awards, I would vote for that game. No bias. No bias for sure. Shield Breaker is actually the choice now for Noob G. Picks up that level 2 item. Going to allow him to do a ton of damage in these team fights. Picking off players with just 1 or 2 auto attacks in terms of, say, a Torture or an Aluna, somebody with very low armor already. Keeper of the Forest doing a good job to keep that Nature's Veil applied on a lot of the players, though. Draconis continues to try to get the farm on it. It's hard in this situation. Demonic Breastplate finished up on Pebbles as well, and a Shrunken Head on Torture. So let's take a look at the gold per minute graph. This is the interesting thing here. Nomad and Zephyr both have a strong carry potential. Draconis, of course, extremely strong carry potential. Torture and Pebbles both have great semi-carry potential, as well as the Tempest, who's farming well. Not really any carry potential, just great team fight over there, as well as pushing. So having a carry and 2 semi-carries on SG's side with great farm, a decent farm actually, Slick's at 319 and Skyzo at 248. It's not bad. They've got a very, very heavily farming Draconis though. On the other side, Zephyr and Nomad both farming very well in the 450 range, but they don't carry as hard as this Draconis. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to allocate farm in this game such that each one of these teams can carry on into the later stages. Middle tower goes down there in favor of Trademark eSports. They're going to actually turn their attention toward this now base defensive tower. Top tower goes down and the ports come in from Stay Green. They might want to initiate here. The Stalagmites come out, catching Zephyr out. The Glacial Blasts are applied onto Pebbles, though, and he's going to take a little bit of pressure from that. The Gust back on the Draconis, forcing the Tablet of Command to be used from Torture to get him back into a normal position. And with that, looks like Trademark will, in fact, fall back. Noob G working on the defensive tower in the bottom lane. A few more auto attacks, and it will go down. One more auto attack from that catapult. Not even needed, as the standard creeps do get that one taken care of. One Arcana has been picked up here on Bubbles. So he's going to start working on a Hellflower. And tdM has extended their lead up to about 11,000 experience and 10,000 gold. Not bad, not bad. Sorry guys, I just had to update one more thing real quick. Going into this game like 10 seconds after I realized that Complexity wasn't going to be playing. So didn't have time to update anything beforehand. Wanted to get in here and didn't want to miss any of the action possible. As little action as possible to be missed, that's for sure. Barbed Armor being picked up now on Zephyr. That's going to be his item of choice. A bit of an interesting one. Considering how tanky he is, I kind of feel like these Stay Green guys are going to be trying to not focus him as much, saying, you don't really do a ton of damage. I'm just going to try to ignore you. Actually, combo going to be coming out on Dimension Shaman, but he's going to actually get away as the illusion rings activated, and the power throw does connect as well, but not going to be used. Demented Shaman, very, very tanky. 1290 HP with that Astrolabe, his Healing Wave, and of course the Mystic Vestments. Able to survive that combination from Pebbles, a level 18 Pebbles, quite effectively. Legion team starts to push up the middle tower. As the Shell Surf comes in, that's going to pressure back some of these creeps a little bit. Response from Draconis is a Dracaris, a Dragon Flame. That's what it's called, right? Dragonfire? Dragon Flame. Speaking of Dracaris, I'm reading Game of Thrones right now. It's a good series. I know, like, nobody's probably ever told you that before, but Game of Thrones is pretty good. Actually, a Gust going to come in there. Draconis going to have to be pushed on out. Zephyr leading the charge once again. Nomad trying to get in there. Draconis has to activate that Shrunken Head. She's going to turn around and try to fight with the Nomad, but a great counter-attack there from Nomad. Keeper of the Forest comes in and drops the root onto 3 people. Down Tempest goes. He is going to fall. The ultimate being interrupted there. Torture going to fall shortly after, and Z-Freak in some trouble. The Gust is going to bring him home, and he hits the floor. Slicks is in some trouble as he's going to be run down by Zephyr. The Stalagmites turn around with that onto Insania, trying to get the auto attacks necessary. The Chuck, and he will not get the kill. tdM grabs 4 kills for just the Tempest in that team fight, taking another great team fight. 17,000 experience lead, 13,000 gold lead. Looking very good. With 4 players still alive, Tempest the only one down. They're going to turn their attention toward the middle lane and try to bring this one down. we shall see if they can actually do it. No buybacks are being used just yet. Slicks does have one available. If anyone buys back, I think it might be him. Keeper of the Force doesn't have his ultimate available, so not going to use that just yet. The gold experience extended even further up to 18,000 experience as well. Demented Shaman continues to get tankier as a Void Talisman is picked up. Going to be nice to deal with the auto attack damage coming out of Draconis as well as the Pebbles in the middle of those team fights. Though you activate that Void Talisman at the wrong time while you're being comboed by Pebbles, and that might very well spell the doom of you. Speaking of doom, Doombringer has been picked. No, that's... I wish. A Symbol of Rage has been picked up now onto Draconis, so upgrades that Whispering Helm into that. Going to be able to stand in the middle of those team fights quite a bit longer, but still does not have the amount of damage that they're really looking for. But if Draconis, or if there's any hero that you can really say, oh, okay, we're really far behind, but I'm glad I have this hero as my carry, I'd say it's a Draconis, for sure. I watched a game yesterday, Domain of Pain versus Trademark, where Noob G was playing on that dragon. Domain of Pain maintained a 15,000 experience lead and like a 10,000 gold lead throughout the majority of the game. And then I stopped watching for like 10 minutes while I was doing something else, like writing an article or something. And I come back, and Draconis is gigantic, and tdM's conceding because Draconis just got an annihilation. So that's the kind of things that Draconis can do. He can also use the Blazing Flight to get out of there, making sure not to get caught out of position during that Kongor kill. Red Emerald Lightning going in as they're trying to combo down onto Nomad, but it's a failure. Zefreak comes in, drops the Gust. The Typhoon is out as well as the nice auto attack. Counter attack comes in. Draconis with the Shrunken Head deactivated now is trying to get some damage onto Tempest. Tempest wants to get out of there. Nomad is actually going to be getting out as well. Zephyr taking the pounding. Zai getting I can't even tell what's going on right now. It's like 5 different team fights all over the place. Zai is trying to get up to a quad kill. He's going to turn his attention now towards this Draconis. The kill is actually on Luna, and Draconis might be in a little bit of trouble. No, they're going to turn around and actually get the creeps. I'm sorry, guys. That was like 4 different team fights going around in 3 different locations, but Zai picks up a hat trick there, and then 1 kill going to Noob G on the Nomad. Kongor will fall, and tdM, 27,000 gold lead, 23,000 experience lead, actually backwards. I'm dyslexic when it comes to golden experience, but it doesn't matter. tdM is super far ahead at this point. And Stay Green, and they're going to need a miracle to bring it back. A 532 GPM Draconis, but with no support, essentially. It's going to be a very, very rough road for Stay Green to get back into this one. And it looks like tdM, they're going to continue their onslaught, pushing up the mid lane right now, but they're going to back off for the time being. The Kongor did go down. Of course, the Token of Life is on Nomad once again. That was the 2nd Kongor kill, as Bananas did not drop. Bubble's going to go in with the Shell Surf Song of the Sea to try to get a little bit of push going on. The Emerald Dread being activated onto Luna, using that as a power throw. Ooh, that hit a lot of stuff. Not quite strong enough to one-shot Warlocks anymore, though, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Frostwolf Skull has been finished up onto Zephyr, making him even tankier, up to 2,800 life now, in addition to that Frostwolf Skull effect. Nomad walking in with the Genjuro. The Dragon Flame pushing him back, though, activating the slow as well. There's a Word of Revelation down. The Gust pulls Draconis back. In comes the combo with Pebbles, but he's not actually going to secure anyone. The Typhoon being activated on Draconis, and Draconis is in some trouble. He's going to activate the Shrunken Head, and the turnaround, he activates the Symbol of Rage as well, and he's starting to pound the damage in, but a huge Tempest ultimate catching Draconis, as well as Luna and Pebbles. In comes the Z-Freak. He drops the root, but it's not going to be enough. 4 kills already coming out for tdM. A hat trick on Noob G. Zai is in the well, manning up onto Keeper of the Forest. The Courier goes down. The Racks go down. They're going to turn their attention toward the top lane as they look to make it work, trying to push down everything else. A 38,000 experience lead, 33,000 gold lead. I made sure to say it right that time. tdM is going to take game 1 in this series, putting them only 1 game away from the grand finals of HoN Tour Diamond Cycle 1. And Trademark eSports, or not Trademark eSports, Vote, Stay Green, whatever you want to call them, they are about to be mega creeps as the last Rain Tracks will go down. GG, well played. comes out, and the vote to concede will go up. There it is. It passes. Trademark eSports takes the game. They're now up 1-0, guys. One game away from closing out the best-of-3 series and ending our coverage for the day. So if you want to see a Game 3, let them know. Send your spirits up into the sky and say, stay green, pull it back for Game 2 so we can have an awesome Game 3. But that's irrelevant right now, guys. We are going to go to a very quick break while we get the next game set up. I think I'm even going to do a little bit of a graphic update as well. But it's going to be awesome. I'm still stoked. This is an awesome day of casting, guys. Here, this is Complexity Casting. Of course, your casting host, Beef. But we're going to go get the next game started. In the meantime, while we're on break, I actually need to update that scoreboard before we go back to it. But while we're on break, make sure to check out the info section below the video here on twitch.tv/ComplexityHoN. And check out all the information about Complexity Gaming, myself, as well as the players. You can check out all of our social media links down there as well. And especially make sure to let Complexity Gaming know that you love seeing these Complexity casts and you want me to keep doing it. So check it out over at ComplexityGaming.com, where HoN Tour is on the front page, bringing you all the up-to-the-minute coverage of HoN Tour, Complexity, and all things Heroes of Newerth. Also, check them out over at Facebook on Complexity Gaming and Twitter at Complexity Live. While you're at Twitter, you can follow me at BeefPotPie1 for all of your information regarding Complexity HoN whenever we go live right here on twitch.tv/ComplexityHoN. Guys, quick break. We'll get Game 2 set up. Don't go anywhere. It's Complexity Casting.